I'm in my backyard right now, just going over some of my gear. I went on a hike today, and I made some videos, and I went ahead and took them down because I'm kind of iffy on some facts of the area that I went to. So I want to do a little bit more research, maybe actually call and ask about it. But something I'm doing, and it's something I've done in the past with my kit, and that's to switch it up every now and then. You get into the items you like, and that's fine. Go with what works best for you. But what I like to do every now and then is go back and go over old items, because sometimes you get a new idea on how to use those items, but you also get it keeps stuff that you've experimented fresh in your mind, because you may have to improvise something. And also, if you've got someone else who's getting into it, they might want to play with different ideas to see what they like to do. Case in point, right now I'm working on Boyle times for my canteen cup. Different fuels are better in different environments. Alcohol burners don't do well at high altitudes, certain temperatures, so on and so forth. I played with alcohol burners a while back, and by far one of the best boil times on just about any system. But what I didn't like was having to haul the liquid fuel. If I was just going out for a day, maybe even an overnighter, and you wanted to do that, that was fine. I'm more of a fan of the solid fuel, like trioxane, hexamine, even the military gel fuel they have now. That's really good stuff. Or even like the homemade cotton wax cubes that people make. Those are really good fuel cells. The only problem with those is, and any of those solid fuels, is getting an actual boil. They're great for heating water up to cook with, but in some of my experience, actually getting it to boil and continue to boil for that little bit that you need to, like, say, purify water, they by the time they get to the boil point, like hot enough to actually, like, say, put your ramen noodles in, they're spent. A lot of hexamine tablets, you've got the square ones and you've got the round ones, they'll only burn for 7 minutes or so. The square ones might burn for 10. So by the time they get to the end of their burn life, you've got hot water, but you don't have boiling hot water. So anyways, that's just kind of that. I'm going back and playing with this stuff, and I'm going to do maybe a video series on different burners and stuff that I've played with. But I've thrown a lot of my stuff away, so I'm going to have to build some from scratch, and I'm trying out different ideas in the process. But what I did today was I loaded my butt pack and my canteen, and I went for a hike, just exploring. I've gotten some new gear. I packed it in there, and I packed some extra stuff just to add some weight, to see how that belt system worked for the long run, and with the extra weight, and it did great. I'm going to do some product reviews here in a little bit when I get some other stuff. I've got some other cheap budget stuff in the mail, so I'm kind of going through a new kit, because it's going to stay hot and warm here through the fall, I have a feeling. So I wanted to scale a couple of things down, for overnighters and stuff. I don't need wool blankets necessarily for any overnighters I might do here coming up. But just checking my water. But that's just something you might want to do, switch stuff up, try different carrying methods. That's what I'm doing now, is I'm going back to an old sys setup, but I'm carrying it in a different way. applying some of what I've learned. I've really lightened my kit down. You know, the kit that I built to come down to Missouri with from Washington. I've tweaked it quite a bit. I've got items that I kept that I went over in another video, but I've you know, I've changed some stuff up. For quite a while I was using the Pathfinder bush pot, which is a great pot. I highly recommend it, but it's stainless steel, and the stainless steel, if you're trying to go ultralight and pack your fuel, it takes more to get a Boyle in that, because like the GI canteen's aluminum, so it conducts heat better, so you can get by with a smaller burner, where as you actually need a full-on fire, to, not a big fire, but a full-on fire to set that stainless steel bush pot in and actually get it to boil. The canteen stove and cup, small stick fire, like pencil-sized pieces, you can get a boil going in about 3 minutes. Is my record on that. The next was alcohol, and then the hexamine, but you have to use 2 tablets to get an actual boil. I am going to do a video on that here. So, anyways, that's just kind of it's a kit mentality kind of thing. Try different things, pull out old stuff, revisit things, even if you just think about it, just to get you thinking. I've already decided a couple of things I'm going to tweak on this butt pack setup. I've got another pouch, but I've got to figure out how I want to pack my stuff in it. So you know, and taking it on the trail's got my wheels turning.